Geometry Trig Honors 8.2 Law of Sines. So one of the more used pieces of information out there. I'm actually going to derive it. I think it's kind of handy to see where it comes from. How do we find the area of a triangle? Area, everybody will tell me, is 1/2 base times height. Well, what if I gave you a side angle side? 8, 12, and who cares, 40 degrees. How would you find the height? Knock down an altitude, call it an H. Sine of, notice I still have to write this out. A lot of people just do that in their head. I'm not that good. Sine of 40 equals H over 8. H equals 8 sine of 40. So when you're given a side angle side, it becomes area is 1/2 the 8 times 12 times the sine of 40. And I'm not actually even calculating the area. I'm using this to derive things. I believe we're going to use this in a lesson later, so we're kind of getting a little bit ahead. What about if we are off to the side? People always ask me this. Well, what if it's 8, 140, 12? Well, I'd say, how would we find the height? You'd make this 40. At that height, say, hey, area is 1/2. It's the same deal. 8 times 12 times sine of 40. You say, well, yeah, but they're different, so how do I figure it out? Well, wait a minute. What if I said sine of 140? You should know at this point from all your unit circle stuff, sine of 40 and sine of 140 are the same. First and second quadrant, sine is positive. As long as the reference angle is the same, you're good to go. So here's the three formulas. We don't want to memorize them, so just ignore that. Put them together and divide. So, I mean, it's all the same triangle, we'll say. There's some triangle with A, B, C, and we can look at it this way or this way or this way. Doesn't matter. So they're all equal. 1/2 BC sine of A, 1/2 AC sine of B, 1/2 AB sine of C. Divide 1/2 ABC each one. Halves are all gone. Some of the letters are gone. Notice what you get. Sine of A over A equals sine of B over B equals sine of C over C. It's the law of sines. It works on non-right triangles. It's very handy because most of the triangles you run into in the world are not right triangles. You have to use this, but it comes with a major, major catch. I'll get to the major catch later. And by the way, we could write this upside down, which I often do the problem as. I'm honestly not sure what I've been doing lately. So you could write it that way. And it's just inverting everything. It doesn't really matter. So let's solve this triangle. What does it mean to solve a triangle? Find everything about it. So this is a angle side triangle, which works very nicely because the first thing I can do is find the missing angle. Measure of angle B is 180 minus 55 minus 45. I believe that's 80 degrees. Yep. So I like to write it in if I can. And then law of sines makes life pretty easy. 12 over, yeah, I actually do it with the A on top, sine of 55 equals B over sine of 80. Now, this is an advanced class. I will not be spending half my life showing you how to do the algebra. You should know this. I am just going to tell you it's 12 times sine of 80 over sine of 55. If you cannot do that, you better figure out how. You're going to spend a lot of time blasting out things and burning through a lot of paper. B equals 14.4. Now, a critical point. Do you want to use 12 over sine of 55, or do you want to use 14.4 over sine of 80? If you have a brain, you will say, well, we should use original data. It will be more accurate. To which point I would say, well, duh, but good for you. Sine of 45. A equals... Notice I know that sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. I could use that, but I'm using my calculator for everything, so might as well just blast it out. There, we've solved the triangle. 10.4, 14.4. Nice. But we got a major problem. If you give me two angles, angle side angle or angle angle side, we're in good shape. However, this goes back to geometry. What if you gave me A is 50 degrees, you've given me angle side side, and that does not determine a triangle. We know we could not use ASS in geometry to prove things because we don't know. So now we're out of luck. We don't know what's going to happen. We might find out there's no triangles at work. We might find out that there's two triangles at work. So here's what we do. It's confusing. First things first, we just ignore the ASS and figure out, hey, let's see if it works. 5 sine of 50 equals, got a 9 over there, 9 sine of B. Again, I'm not going to show you how to do this. Actually, I will. I lied. Flip that up. We get 9 sine of 50 over 5. So second sine of 9 sine of 50 over 5. 9 sine of 50 divided by 5. And I got an error. And you would say, well, you gave me a problem that doesn't work. And I would say, yeah, you got to go figure that out. There is no solution to this one. Some people raise their hand at this point and go, well, duh, I mean, this is actually drawn pretty close to scale with the 9 there. We don't know what C is, so it could be, this big or that big or whatever. But if you think about the 5, that's at most to about there. Even if it comes straight down, it's not going to hit. So there's no solution. It's obvious. There's a way to check for this. I no longer teach it. Where you calculate this little height. Oh, wait, that feels like the triangle. Yeah, no kidding. The height is 9 sine of 50, I believe. Again, I'm not really good at doing that in my head. Let's get this out of the way. And we get 6.9. This isn't big enough, then no solution. If you want to do it that way, go for it. A lot of people like to check that out. If this was 4, we say, yeah, it's smaller, 5 will hit. If this was 4, I think you'd get 2 solutions. So we'll talk about that as we go along here. All right? I don't know why I said that's not too bad. That's horrible. We have to watch out for this problem. So let's find out what happens. 10, 14. 10, huh? That should fit. I use a little bit of common sense on these. 10 over P and C. 10 over sine of 39 equals 14 over sine of B. Measure of angle B equals, don't know why I did that, 14 sine of 39 divided by 10 second sine of that. I get 61.8 degrees. This is the hard part. You have to check to see if you can get two different angles. Remember, sine of 61.8 is equal to sine of 180 minus 61.8. So you don't know which one it is. Could be either one. So we get or 118.2 degrees. Is that too big to fit in? Let's check. 180 minus 118 degrees minus 39 degrees. 23 degrees. It's big. Pardon me, it fits. You have two solutions. So, got to divide our lives in half. People hate this. Too bad. On the one side, we have the original data, which I will call A1 equals 39 degrees, little a1 equals 10, little b1, I can't put commas in there, equals 14, and we calculated angle B2 equals 61.8 degrees. On the other hand, we have second choice, 39 degrees, A1 equals 10, B1 equals 14, and big B2 equals 118.2 degrees, because we don't know. It's what they call an ambiguous case law of signs. Could be one solution, could be two. So we got to do all this twice. I got my pen in green, so I'm going to do this side. Let's find C2. 180 minus 118, 118.2 degrees minus 39 degrees equals 22.8 degrees. Some people like to draw a second triangle. It's not a bad idea. So, original data, 10 over sine of 39 equals, what are we looking for? Side, C over sine of 22.8. C equals 6.2. C2, little c2. So we got all six. Over here, we got to do the same thing. C2 equals 180 minus 61.8 degrees minus 39 degrees. $79.2 degrees. 10 over sine of 39 degrees equals, ooh, that's C1. Oof, that was terrible. C1 over sine of 79.2 degrees. Holy cow, huh? C1 equals. So yeah, this is the time to groan. When you're doing a problem and you realize, oh no, there's two solutions. It's not easy. So, let's try it again. 118 degrees, A, 20, and we'll go with 17. 20 over sine of 118 degrees equals 17 over sine of B. B equals, and this one's going to work, sweet. 48.6 degrees. Two solutions. I like changing colors so I can see what I'm saying. 180 minus 118 minus 48.6. Wait a minute, my bad. Or 131.4 degrees. So two solutions. Well, obviously 118 plus 131.4 plus 48.6 greater than 180. Just one solution, which is nice. Now we just go and figure out angle C. Is 13.4 degrees, and then 20 over sine of 118 equals C over sine of 13.4 degrees. We get 15.0. So this is challenging stuff. This is going to take some time to get good at. But don't worry, I've got lots of practice for you. So all you need to do is, keep on keeping on and happy mathing. All that good stuff.